still turn up the air conditioning a little bit. Yeah. There we go.
Não vai pular.
Morremos.
Não vai pular.
Colou um crocodilo aqui.
Esqueci de pegar dinheiro pra dar gorjeta. Ah, não tem problema.
Uma coisa pega no carro, tá? Olha a casa. Olha que americana. É, cheio de crocodilo, mas é represa.
So guys, we have a few notable museums in the city of Winter Park. One of them is coming up ahead on the right. It's called the Pulaski Museum and Sculpture Gardens. Mr. Pulaski was a Czechoslovakian sculptor back in the early to mid part of the 20th century, and he worked in bronze. Had over 400 sculptures in bronze. Many of them are displayed in the gardens here and inside the museum. You can also see his works in front of our city hall and in our central park. Upon his death in the 1960s, his wife donated their property here as a museum to the city. The city also holds a lot of special events here. A lot of beautiful weddings are held on that lawn right there. Really nice museum if you get the chance. And then, coming up right next to the Pulaski Museum here, as part of the same compound, is the Capon House. Also a city-owned property used for special events. The Capon House here has some interesting history, which I'll go into more towards the end of the tour. But suffice to say for now, that is not its original location.
Wow.
Big cliffhanger. Big tease. More to be revealed. First canal we're going to go into today is the Fern Canal. And this is going to take us over to Lake Virginia. These canals were originally dredged for travel, trade, and the logging industry. Back in the late 1800s, when the city was really growing fast, most of the yellow pine trees were taken down for lumber, and a lot of them were floated through these canals to the sawmills. You're also going to see a lot of bamboo in the city of Winter Park. Bamboo is not indigenous to Florida, but it certainly has made a home here. A lot of people will use it as a natural fencing on their property. The simple fact that it's just too darn hard to get rid of. There's some large bamboo right here on the right. It has been called invasive.
Yeah.
Coming up ahead on the left is a yellow pine tree that actually made it to maturity. One of the few in the city. It's about 150 years old.
150 anos de altura. Coisa linda.
And if you look straight ahead, you'll see why we don't have roofs on our boats anymore. We had a lot of rain last fall. This bridge had gotten very low. It's not nearly as low as it was, but I'm still going to ask everyone to please be careful here as we go under Osceola Avenue. Please watch your heads here, guys. Please watch your heads. Now would not be the opportune time to stand up. Please be careful. If anyone did get knocked off, I'll pick you up on the way back. Up ahead is a natural bridge. This big limb going across the canal up here is called Squirrel Bridge.
Yes.
Squirrel Bridge has a fern on it that looks like it's dying, it's turning brown, but it's still quite alive. It's called resurrection fern. And if it gets rained on heavy tonight, it will be bright green tomorrow. And guys, watch out for this giant frog here on the left. That's Jeremiah. He was a good friend. And we're now on Lake Virginia. to the far right, you'll see the steeple of the Knowles Chapel on the campus of Rollins College. One of the prettiest buildings on their campus, built in 1932. Paul McCartney once performed there. I'll talk more about Rollins College when we get to that side of the lake. You're going to see a lot of different styles of architecture around the lakes today. Modern, contemporary, Spanish, Mediterranean, Greek revival, even colonial. A lot of the homeowners will design their boathouse to match their big house too, as you can see. It's kind of cool. Coming into view on the left is another canal, and that canal over there leads over to Lake Mizell. You can see Lake Mizell through the bridge over there. So we have 5 lakes on our chain of lakes. Lake Mizell, Lake Virginia, Lake Osceola, Lake Maitland, and Lake Minnehaha. All 5 of the lakes are spring-fed and run north, eventually winding up in the St. Johns River. Right now, at their deepest, the lake's around 20 feet. This